Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a massive plot twist from one of the most emotional, historic brands in the car world. We're unpacking Alfa Romeo's surprising roadmap for the 2027 Stelvio. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, because this single vehicle could literally dictate whether this legendary Italian automaker survives in the fiercely competitive luxury SUV market. Let's get right into it. To really grasp the immense stakes right off the bat, take a look at this number. 8,865. That is it. That's the total number of vehicles Alfa Romeo sold in the entire US back in 2023. In a market totally dominated by heavyweights like BMW, Audi, and Porsche, that number isn't just low, it's dangerously low. It makes the upcoming second-generation Stelvio an absolute make-or-break necessity for the brand's survival in North America. There is absolutely zero room for error here. And honestly, that desperation for a hit is exactly why their whole timeline has been flipped upside down. Originally, we all expected Alfa Romeo to go 100% electric by 2025. But shifting consumer demand and, frankly, a slower-than-expected adoption of EVs have forced a massive pivot. Instead of killing off internal combustion, they're extending the life of their gas and hybrid models until at least 2027. They're adjusting to give drivers the options they actually want to buy right now, rather than forcing an all-electric future too soon. It's a huge win for buyers, but man, it requires some serious engineering gymnastics.
All right, Section 1, the foundation, specifically the STLA Large platform.
So how exactly does a car company build a gas, hybrid, and electric vehicle all at the exact same time without completely bankrupting themselves by developing three different cars? The secret sauce is the STLA Large platform. This is a highly flexible vehicle architecture from Alfa's parent company Stellantis. Think of it like a giant, super advanced mechanical skateboard. This flexible foundation is the ultimate solution to the whole EV transition problem. It lets Alfa design one core vehicle, but offer a little something for everyone, from die-hard petrol heads to early EV adopters.
What makes this platform a total game changer is what it actually lets them do. It supports bleeding-edge 400 and 800-volt EV tech, but get this, the engine bay is still huge. It easily accommodates serious gas engines like the 3.0-liter twin-turbo Hurricane inline-6 or even a traditional V6. Now, to fit all this cutting-edge tech and mechanical muscle together, the Stelvio's footprint is growing just a bit, stretching the vehicle out to roughly 185 inches. It's an absolute marvel of packaging.
Moving on to Section 2, the muscle. Let's talk gas, hybrid, and EV powertrains. The new Stelvio is bringing a frankly absurd range of power to the table. Starting on the left there, you've got a really solid 280 horsepower base gas engine. Step it up a tier to the middle, and we see the glorious return of that 513 horsepower Ferrari-derived V6 for the Quadrifoglio trim. And then, look at the far right. That projected EV flagship? A mind-boggling 1,000 horsepower. Alfa isn't just trying to match the competition here. In the horsepower wars, they're basically bringing a bazooka. But hey, 1,000 horsepower doesn't mean much if you're stuck sitting in a charging station all day, right? Thanks to that 800-volt architecture we just talked about, Alfa claims you could theoretically recharge this thing in a maximum of just 18 minutes. To put that into perspective, that's barely enough time to run in, grab a coffee, use the restroom, and get back on the road. It's a very aggressive target, and if they pull it off, it seriously crushes that old range anxiety argument. Now, bridging the gap between the classic gas engine and that crazy EV rocket ship is going to be a plug-in hybrid setup. Expected to borrow pretty heavily from the smaller Tonale, this pairs a 1.3-liter turbo with an electric motor. It gives you a very practical 285 horsepower, but the real kicker? About 33 miles of pure electric range. That is absolutely perfect for handling your daily commute or running errands without burning a single drop of gas. Which brings us to Section 3, Italian luxury and tech. Time to check out the upgraded cabin experience. The absolute centerpiece of this new driver-focused interior is what they call the Cannocchiale digital instrument panel. Fun fact, Cannocchiale actually translates to telescope, which is a nod to those deep, double-cowled gauge clusters from vintage Alfa Romeos. Except here, it's been digitized into this beautiful, customizable 12.3-inch display. It perfectly balances cutting-edge tech with classic Italian design heritage. Beyond that instrument cluster, the broader styling is just stunning. We're looking at an 8.8-inch central infotainment screen, a 14-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, and a cabin that's completely draped in tactile luxury. We're talking soft leather, real wood, actual carbon fiber trim. And moving to the outside, early looks show a return to this incredibly sharp, aggressive split headlight aesthetic and a super muscular grille. It looks fast even when it's parked. Alfa is also stepping up big time to make sure their safety tech is totally on par with their German rivals. They're adding a full suite of Level 2 autonomous driving features. With stuff like highway assist and traffic jam assist, the car can practically handle the absolute worst, most tedious parts of stop-and-go commuting for you. You get to arrive home actually refreshed, instead of completely burned out from traffic. Let's look at Section 4, Stelvio versus the Porsche Macan, the ultimate head-to-head rivalry. When you actually compare the base models of both SUVs, the data is super revealing. The Stelvio just flat out outpunches the mighty Macan in horsepower, 280 to 261. It beats it to 60 miles per hour, and actually, surprisingly, it even gives you more maximum cargo capacity, 56.5 cubic feet compared to Porsche's 53.1. So on paper, the Alfa is objectively the more capable machine, giving you better performance and more practicality, a lot of times for less money. Finally, Section 5, the stakes. Why this is truly a make-or-break moment. So, the specs are deeply impressive, sure. But Alfa Romeo is totally caught in a vice right now, between their own internal goals and some pretty harsh external realities. Internally, they absolutely have to nail this launch to save their US market share. But externally, they're battling massive delays at a Hungarian plant that's supposed to build their EV motors. Plus, since the Stelvio is built in Italy, it gets hit with US import tariffs. These literally just dropped from 25% to 15%, but they bounce around constantly based on trade winds, making pricing a total nightmare for the executives. And speaking of pricing, adding even more pressure is the anticipated price bump. The new hybrid model is expected to start right around $55,000. But if you want that 1,000 horsepower full EV variant, you are looking at a sticker price pushing much closer to $70,000. That is a massive premium, and at that level, buyers demand an absolutely flawless customer experience from the dealership all the way through ownership. Because at the end of the day, as this quote from Car and Driver hits right on the head, the main issue for Alfa Romeo isn't the engineering. The engineering is brilliant. The problem is brand awareness. In the luxury market, buyers just default to Audi, BMW, and Porsche. It's almost like muscle memory for luxury shoppers. Alfa Romeo has to fight tooth and nail just to be remembered. If people don't know the new Stelvio even exists, it doesn't matter how fast or gorgeous it is. So, I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. By intentionally delaying their EV transition and pivoting to give drivers the gas and plug-in hybrid options they're actually asking for today, did Alfa Romeo just pull off the perfect pragmatic survival strategy? Or, going up against the massive momentum of their German rivals, are they just buying time? That's the billion-dollar question the 2027 Stelvio is going to have to answer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.